Do you feel like your classroom looks something like this, or at least the inside of your head during your classroom day looks something like this, full of all the different initiatives and worries and responsibilities that a classroom teacher has? Well, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something called the Critical Skills Classroom. Critical Skills Classroom is an approach that can help you take this to this. It is like a big backpack that holds all the things that you need to do in a simple, elegant container, a nice, elegant classroom practice that can help you achieve all of the things that you need to achieve. It's rooted in these 4 pillars that I'm going to talk about a little bit more, and it was created by a group of practicing classroom teachers in the 80s working with business partners and academics, and over the years since then, it's been recreated and evolved by classroom teachers who are the entire cadre of our faculty and training staff. So when we talk about the Critical Skills Classroom, we start with the collaborative learning community, which we recognize is something that has to be created and maintained. And it's not just a one and done. It's not something you just do in the first 6 weeks of the school year. You have to work on it all year long. We also know that there are standards that have to be targeted, both the content standards as well as the 21st century skills, or the process skills, or the soft skills, or the habits of mind, whatever you call them. We call them skills and dispositions. Next, we focus on the experiential learning cycle. We know that people learn best when they are experiencing things and they make meaning of their experience. Our experiential cycle has 3 levels. Both the teacher cycle, because the teacher is a co-learner in a collaborative learning community in the Critical Skills Classroom. The teacher is learning the students and learning how they're evolving and growing and changing, and constantly evolving and growing and changing alongside them. And students are focusing on both the content knowledge they need to learn and the skills and dispositions that they're going to learn in the context of that academic knowledge. Finally, we focus on problem-based learning. And those problems are problems that over time and with experience become increasingly messy, more authentic, more real world. Resources may become scarcer or more plentiful. But we recognize that this is something that has to happen over time. Students have to be supported as they get better at this, and the teacher gets better at this. Then the work needs to get more complicated. Otherwise, people get bored. We're really focused on keeping kids and teachers in their zones of proximal development. So at the end of the day, at the end of a week, a year, a month in a classroom, you could diagram a Critical Skills Classroom to look something like this, where students have been engaged in a series of problem-based challenges that are focused on all kinds of different things that also are connected by intentional, well-designed reflection and connection. And the teacher's doing that reflection and connection too. Some folks say it looks like the top of a Dolly Madison cupcake. So I mentioned the critical skills and fundamental dispositions. We have these that we work with. Some schools have their own, some teachers have their own, and we're perfectly perfectly willing to help you learn to apply our processes and structures in service of your own. If you don't have them, then we offer these. These were created and refined over time through work with practicing classroom teachers, academics, and business leaders. So if you look at this list of things that the teachers do in a critical skills classroom, you'll see that this is what we want good teaching to look like. I think that when we all imagine our classrooms, this is what we'd love to see. And when we think about what we want students to do, this is exactly what we would want our students to be doing. So if your day-to-day in your classroom feels like this, then you need to get in touch with us because we can help it look like this. As I mentioned, our model has been around for a long time, and our biggest area of need right now is just communicating. We have a lot of folks who don't know about us, even though we've been doing training all over New England for a long time. We'd like to broaden our reach. We'd like to be able to impact more folks across the educational community, both nationally and internationally. So thank you very much for your time. Have a wonderful day and stay safe.